Welcome everyone back to our AIDE tutorial section. Today we're diving into SchoolAI, and before we learn anything about it, we need to know it is free, and we love free in the K-12 environment. SchoolAI is a powerful web-based learning platform built specifically for the classroom, and it offers an incredibly rich array of teaching tools. Now, we won't have time for a full deep dive into every feature today, but I want to walk you through a few key highlights that I believe will spark your creativity and excitement about the program. So along the side here we have our menu options, and we're going to start under Tools, where most of your resources reside. As you can see, we have a ton of tools available to us for our curriculum. We have lesson plans, worksheets, quizzes, rubrics, vocabulary list, and on, quite a few. It would take you quite a long time to delve into each and every one. But for demonstration purposes, we're just going to start with a lesson plan. And here's what I can tell you. If you have 1 minute, 60 seconds available to you, you have time to create a lesson plan. So let's do that. We'll click New, and I'm selecting that I'm going to be teaching the 5th grade. And here, I've already been here before, so here's my topic, planting and growing outdoor flowers in Minnesota. And then additional details, start from planting seeds to caring for flowers as they grow. We could add standards to this, but we're going to leave that blank because they're going to be filled in anyway. It's going to derive what the standards are as it develops the lesson. And then we hit create. And literally, under 1 minute's time, you just created a full lesson plan that obviously you can file away and use in the future. But we have learning outcomes. What will the students learn after the lesson? What are the standards that align with this lesson? What materials do we need? And then we can just start from the lesson sequence. And you could start from a place where you know nothing about plants or flowers at all and teach this lesson effectively. We have all the different steps to follow, and then an assessment of the lesson, summing it all up, and then different other ways to fortify the lesson or to enhance the lesson right here, and then on with extension and enrichment, school enhancements, discovery questions at the end. And so this is a quick way to present a lesson plan to your students that is really foolproof. Now let's move on to a fun subject of spaces. And what I mean by spaces is that you, as the instructor, are going to create a safe, interactive environment for your students to talk back and forth with AI. And it's going to follow your guidelines. It's going to follow your expectations. It's not going to be some Wild West thing that can happen with AI because you created the boundaries for this interaction. So we'll start with one that's already been created for us. Scroll down. Yes, we're talking about the Civil War, so let's have a conversation with Abraham Lincoln. And what I want you to notice here in the prompt is someone else did create this, and there's thousands of them. And these are the guidelines. So whoever put this together said, you're not Abraham Lincoln, but pretend you are. Adopt his mannerisms, tone, voice, and character. Use idioms. It also says further on in this prompt that, hey, pay attention to the student's life. Let them know that you care about their life as well. And you're going to see how that plays out here. So we'll go up here and say, yep, let's launch this. Launch it for the students. And we're going to answer a few questions, enough to generate some insights. Yes, I've been here before. All right, so we're ready for our first question. And like I said, we're going to run through a few questions, enough to generate some insights for SchoolAI. And so he wants to know, did you know I kept important letters inside my tall hat? What brings you here today? And I'll just say I didn't know that. I'm here today because we are studying the Civil War. Be patient with me, people. I'm an IT guy. Okay, now we have our second question. That is a mighty important time in our history. It was a hard struggle to keep our nation together. When you think of the Civil War, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Severe loss of life for a cause. Yep, you speak the truth. The cost was terrible, and it was. What do you believe? What do you believe that cause was? Well, that one's easy. To restore the Union. Ah, that was a great task before us, and it was. But tell me, what have you heard about my own feelings on the matter of slavery? Now we're getting honest, aren't we? Now it's Honest Raymond. I heard you were fervently against slavery. I once said that as I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. Do you think a person can truly be free if they are holding another person in bondage? And obviously, not at all. And that'll be our last question. All right. So now that we're done with this, hopefully we're going to get some insights out of this. We'll go click back to our portal. And we see that I've been identified as a curious student. And let's see what happens if we can generate some insights. If we can't, we'll just go by these insights below. And there we go. So I'm not demonstrating any misconceptions. So that means I'm following the curriculum. I'm following the content. And it says that I'm ready to continue to explore deeper. But see, every one of your students are going to have some sort of insight. And there are going to be people that have challenges. But this is the coolest part about it, because you can identify it in real time and make adjustments in the lesson content or give them more guidance so that they can get up to speed with everyone else. It's a fabulous tool, and there are thousands of pre-made spaces, but the best space of all is the one that you get to make on your own. So let's do that. We're going to go up here, create a space. I'm going to make it simple. I want to talk about Tom and Jerry cartoons. And that's enough for SchoolAI to run with. We hit create space, and it didn't automatically generate the image. So I'm going to go add an image. I'm going to say generate it based on my criteria. I like it. Save that image. And we're going to do one more little thing here. This is the prompt that it generated based on Tom and Jerry cartoons. And it's saying things like, don't spoil surprises, keep a good tone, keep it engaging, that type of thing. But we're going to add our own items to this. And I've said that if the word cheese is used, ask what your favorite cheese is. If the word trap is used in the replies, then say ouch in your reply. And then add a simple related riddle at the end of each question. So now let's see how we do. We'll save that. This will turn blue in just a second. We're ready to launch it. We're going to join it. So right away we see that it is paying attention to our prompt when it talks about riddles. And we're going to answer this question. So what's your absolute favorite moment from the show? And I would just say something like, Tom's trap. Ouch! Those traps always backfire. So again, it's paying attention to our prompt. What do you think is the sneakiest trick Jerry has ever used to get away? And I'm going to say something like, hiding in the and it asks us, what is your favorite kind of cheese? So this is a lot of fun. It really has no limitation. The only limitation is what you come up with your creativity in the prompts. I really appreciate you joining us for this quick session on SchoolAI. I hope it was compelling and exciting, interesting enough that you'll use it in your classroom going forward. This has been an SWWC production, and we are looking forward to having you join us next month for the AIDE newsletter.